Mike teed him up perfectly. If you were going to get anything from Brock in that moment, it was going to be like, yeah, that does annoy me. But no, he went with that answer, which he has stuck by his entire career. Can Brock Purdy silence those doubters, those who have an opinion about whether or not he's quality enough in his early career with a Super Bowl win, or does he need to be like the quarterback to lead to the win?
Oh, if he wins the Super Bowl, I don't want to hear anybody saying, yeah, but like, he won a Super Bowl. You know, I think, Kyle, you hit on something last week that has resonated with me, even going into this week, where we have this predisposed, I would almost say, a dismissal of Brock Purdy because of where he was drafted, because we trust the draft so much.
It sticks with him.
We trust our mock drafts. We trust our individuals who work around the clock to do draft prep. We trust the teams. And all of them, to a man, all of them passed on Brock Purdy. He was in no mock drafts. He was not drafted by 32 teams for 7 rounds. And even the final pick of the draft, you read Peter King's article this week. Yeah. Kyle Shanahan had to go to Dr. York, John York, Jed York's father, and be like, I think he's the best player in the draft left at the last pick, but we don't need a quarterback. We have quarterback. And Dr. York, who has been such a luminary there, and Denver's like, if he's the best player, take him with the last pick. And sure enough, here he is. We hold that bias against him. Because if you watch it, I really do mean this. If you watch it, he doesn't have the best arm in the league. He's not the fastest player in the league. But this guy wins. This guy plays. And this guy makes the right decisions every single time. If he wins a Lombardi trophy, I don't want to hear this anymore. I don't care if they win 10-9. I don't want to hear that Brock Purdy isn't worthy of being this quarterback. On the flip side of it, if they're down 21-3 in the second half, you better believe people are going to be saying, put Sam Darnold in the game.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold was a number 3 overall pick. Oh. Sam Darnold is the guy who everyone in the draft world did cherish. Sam Darnold's the guy who was the great USC quarterback, and he's the backup.
Do you think Shanahan would do that?
No.
I don't either.
Because he didn't last week.
But if you're talking about critics and silencing and all that, if they're down, that is what the chatter is going to be. So Brock Purdy, I respect the way he, just like Mahomes, is so laser-focused and hasn't let this affect him. But gosh, don't check your mentions, because if that's anything, if it doesn't motivate you, it could destroy you. I don't think he does check his mentions. I think he is laser-focused.
Yeah, he doesn't care at all. He said it's not about anyone. It's about the team coming together and doing something. And I'm right with you. I think for Brock Purdy, he silenced the doubters in that NFC Championship game. They're down 17. He has a hell of a performance in the second half to lead them to victory, to get to the Super Bowl. For me, if he's a winner, and winning a Super Bowl validates him. And I think on top of that, the team that they have and how he's performed, we keep mentioning, obviously, Mahomes 14-3 in the playoffs has been so good. For Brock Purdy, he's continued to win in the playoffs as well. The only game he lost is the one that he got injured in the playoffs. So we have to look at him. He wins a Super Bowl this year. We also have to start to look at it as well as the 49ers. There's a good chance throughout Purdy's career that he'll be back in the Super Bowl with how well this team has played under him as the quarterback. So I think he does prove doubters wrong. I think the thing that Purdy will continue to stand on throughout his early career is, I'm a winner. If I can get this team to the Super Bowl, this is the same team that was there a few years ago against these Kansas City Chiefs that fell short. So you could argue that if they're able to get over the hump this year, a lot of that is going to have to be because of Brock Purdy. I don't think he has to have this superb game to prove doubters wrong. To me, that was 2 weeks ago in that championship game where he had one hell of a game. It gets to the point where you're just arguing about Brock Purdy. Is the earth round or is it flat? Is a hot dog a sandwich or is it not? Vanilla ice cream, chocolate ice cream. You have the same debate, and you're going to be on one side or the other.
It's too bad we can't just, it's a great story, but we're constantly at the labeling and the belittling. But Peter, I disagree. I think if he plays poorly and the Niners win, there's still a bonfire. Really? I look at, Roethlisberger played really badly against Seattle in that Super Bowl that they won. Roethlisberger was a first-round pick and the franchise quarterback. The draftism is real. That's what Leaf calls it, draftism, 100%. I think if he throws 2 interceptions and they eke out a 16-10 win, I think they'll be all over him. I do. Yeah. And I don't even know, it's not how we're wired as a show, but the screamers, they'll come for blood. They will. And it's just, that's the nature of it.
And that might be just in the postgame. But to Peter's point, the volume at halftime might be so bad if the 49ers are down. But that would not be the first time that we've seen that in this postseason run.